People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down, when you're strange.
Welcome to G1 Toys, where when someone asks you, is that a lizard in your pocket? You can respond with yes. For your viewing pleasure and for our 20th, yes, that's correct, our 20th review here at G1 Toys, we will hunt down the notorious Bossk from the Star Wars Black Series. So we invite you to roll up a chair and prepare for this Lizard King's origin. If you never asked, you would never know Bossk was a Transdoshan. However, it's not what you think. His name translates to the one who devours his prey. And he has rubbed shoulders with Vader himself as a hired tracker for the Millennium Falcon. His hatred for Wookiees drives him to please, and he holds a special disgust for their species. Bossk is a bit of a troublemaker and has had entanglements with the Republic. Along with Boba Fett, Bossk remains a fierce companion and has hatched a new breed of super bad. So now let's take a look at Bossk's box. Say that 10 times fast, right? So there's a cool picture of Bossk giving us the overdramatic lizard look right there. And then we got Bossk right there in the package. Man, he is looking good, guys. Very sweet with that rifle there, and the strap comes with that. Number 10, Bossk, ages 4 and up, Star Wars Black Series by Hasbro. There's the bottom for you. The side's just a kind of a clear see-through. The side's black, and then the back, we got the standard blue stripe for the new Star Wars series, and that little story about Bossk you can read. There he is standing there with Zuckuss looking sweet, and the bottom made by Disney now, of course, we know that, and Hasbro, of course, the logo there. So let's get into his box here, take a look at his lizard attributes, and we will get you some nice grading done on him later. And we are back with Bossk. So I brought in some figures for some size comparisons, just so you can kind of see an overall view of how they stack up against each other. Now, Boba Fett on the far right from the Black Series is probably who you're going to be putting your Bossk with. So, you know, for the size comparison here, Boba Fett comes in at right at about 6 1/4 inches, whereas Bossk comes in at the same height. The vintage Bossk is about 4 1/4 inches. The Boba Fett and Bossk work really well and scale together, and I really liked them a lot. Now, the vintage Bossk, I have some things I'm going to talk about. I didn't quite like the head sculpt on this Bossk as much. Just looks all bumpy and pimply. I don't like that very much. I don't like the fact either that they put this red-looking lipstick on Bossk. He's a lizard. He doesn't need lipstick. So anyway, here is an overall look at Bossk. You can see the detail is not there with this one. It is the vintage figure, so it's really sweet, but I'm going to show you the differences and how this new Bossk just looks so much better than the vintage Bossk. We're going to get into that next, but you know, there's more bounty hunters coming out this year in the Black Series. There's going to be Leia in Bosch Disguise, who is technically a bounty hunter, guys, and then IG-88. I cannot wait to get all these guys put together in a scene next to Vader and some stormtroopers. It's going to be sweet. So stay tuned. We're going to get him graded next for you and get into his articulation and sculpt as well. Now, there are some good things and some bad things with this Bossk, and I'm going to go over those things one by one as we get through his sculpt and articulation here. Now, starting with his head sculpt, guys, look at that detail. Man, this is done so nicely on the head sculpt with this Bossk. I'm going to give you an overall 360 view of that. Man, isn't that pretty? That is looking good on the head sculpt for Bossk here. Now, I do like the fact that they added some articulation in his jaw. I like the fact that you can see his tongue in there. That looks really sweet. Really good addition to his articulation there by Hasbro. Great job. On his eyes, I love the fact they painted him red with that little ink blot for his pupils there. It looks very good. But, you know, overall, his head sculpt is quite frankly amazing. I love this Bossk head sculpt. Let's see his articulation. He does rotate 360. He does not have any up or down or side to side motion there in his head, so it's kind of limited there in his articulation. Down into his collar area here, I really like the fact that they textured this and they painted it red. Looks so nice. The paint apps all together here on this guy look really good. Paint app right here on his chest, that silver is extra stuff they added, which looks very good. Very nice contrast with everything else. Right around here on the back, I like the fact that they did this red as well with the same texturing as the collar. So that looks really good, guys. Fantastic so far on the detail with this Bossk. His arms do move out all the way around 360. He has the single jointed elbow with a rotation at the elbow, and the wrists do swivel all the way around 360 with a roll of the dice on the articulation with his wrists. So now down into his torso articulation. articulation. I'm going to discuss this. It's one of the bad things. See how that's stressing right there? That's not a good thing. You know, if anything, I would pop this thing out and maybe move it around, but he's going to look stupid with that thing popped out. I didn't think that was a good idea, that they gave him the articulation there, but they didn't really make it movable too much. One more little point I'm going to point out. I'm so glad they didn't put any pink lipstick on this guy. Man, that would have been a bummer for sure. But yeah, anyway, let's get down into his articulation, down into his thigh area as well. We will see that his legs do kick out not too far. He's hindered again by some of these straps and these extras they've added here. They do kick up quite far, and they kick back too as well. He does have the upper thigh swivel there at the leg. He does have a double jointed knee, which you can actually articulate. There's nothing that hinders that whatsoever. I do like the fact that they added the detail here in his bottom boot area. I really like that. That's very movie accurate and looks nice. He's got the calf swivel. He's got the up and down feet with the ankle pivot. Very nice there. And he's got a peg hole in the bottom of his foot there. I like the fact that they painted his nails as well. That's a very good contrast, very Bossk-esque. I love these little extra paint apps they've done here on him, this figure. He looks so amazing. Getting into his weapon now, this gun looks pretty good. It's a little plain, though. It's big. I like the fact that it's a bigger gun, and I like the fact that they painted the strap a different color, as well as the little silver they've done here on the buckles there that hold on the strap. Looks very nice, but I would have liked to see some more paint app on this gun, maybe some wear or something, you know, similar like Boba Fett's or someone else's gun that they've done in the Black Series thus far. But I'm not going to complain, man. This figure is looking great. The detail is fantastic on him. I love it. Let me give you a 360 view here of Bossk. They even painted the little horns coming out of his back of his calves there. So that's really cool, guys. Very nice detail on this Bossk. You can't complain whatsoever. What we're going to do next, we're going to get into his grading. And, you know, there's a lot of things to talk about, but I think Bossk looks fantastic. I'm going to give him some good grading here, and we will get into that next. Now, the Black Series hasn't cut any corners when it comes to these bounty hunters yet. So far, Bossk is awesome. He's amazing looking. Let's go through some of his grading here for you, starting with his appearance. Bossk is going to get the best grade in appearance because he looks fantastic. I'm going to give him a 9 in appearance. Right on into articulation. Now, his articulation is hindered, and I discussed some of those reasons. So in articulation, he's going to get a 7. Right on into durability. Bossk is a very durable figure for the most part. There's some areas of concern with articulation and stressing, so I'm going to drop it down to about a 7 for durability, but still a decent grade. And then into Bossk's collectability. He's another bounty hunter. You have to have him if you're going to be doing a Star Wars bounty hunter scene. So for collectability, he's going to get 7 as well, giving him an overall score of 7.5. This Lizard King can do anything. As the 20th installment of our reviews come to an end, we reflect on our passion for toy collecting and learn the G1 lesson of the day. Without Star Wars, we would all truly be normal, as opposed to geeks. Thank you so much again for watching, and do subscribe as well as follow us on Instagram. Also check out our store at G1 Toys 2015 on eBay. Stepping into the next phase of our lives, we hold our action figures high and chant the bounty cry as we channel our inner toy. What up, Bossk? How goes the hunt?
It's not like the good old days when I could freely hunt the Wookiee. Now it's so regulated. Seriously, I can't even travel a parsec without being hassled by the Republic.
Well, you should file for amnesty and get those blood-sucking Jedi off your back.
I can't file for that, you clone fool. I'm a Transdoshan.
Oh yeah, so what's it like looking like a lizard but having the anatomical features of a womp rat?
Dude, really? That's my species, not my gender preference.
Sure it is, buddy. You don't fool me with that slit tongue and womp rat bulge. Tell me, was your mother the lizard or your father?
That is why we don't work together. Because even without a bounty, I want to kill you.
On that note, I'm heading down to Jabba's palace to feed the Sarlacc my last hit. Let me know if you need any bodies to disappear. Later, tranny.
Ooh, that boba chaps my scales. I need to blow off some steam. That's right. You better run, you stupid Wookiee. Intergalactic Yeti. is that noise? Oh, bantha fodder.
That's one small step for mankind and one less Transocean.
I love you, Han.
I know.
Don't you love her, man?